I'm sure. I'll send him your thanks.
Big hug for being happy.
Yeah, 7-point deficit. You were starting to get there, but that movie cast was a little off guard. But Ian, great try. Absolutely.
I think I might come back next week, but due to the fact I'm very busy with my next project, I may come back in another week.
We will have to see how it turns out. But Ian, you take care for tonight, all right?
I'll see you back here in 2 weeks from now. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, see you, Ian. Alan! Whoa. He was giving you a run for your money. Wasn't he?
A few of those, I was wondering if he remembered it or not.
I don't know how he came up with all that information. But he was starting to get there.
I don't think he's old enough to even watch Fatal Attraction.
Yeah. I was starting to wonder about that myself. But, Alan, 22 points. That has earned you the win for tonight. So now you have a chance to face an Iron Player. Let me remind you of this. The Iron Player of movies is Chris Yozebek, and Brian Schwartz is the Iron Player of music. Antonio Gray is the Iron Player of random, and Anthony Hardy is the Iron Player of television. So, Alan McSiggy, which Iron Player will shiver when you shout their name?
I think everybody wants the grudge match. I choose Iron Chef Movies, Chris Z.
You want him? Okay, Chris Z. Okay, I understand your decision. Let's see about it. I summon the Iron Player of movies, Chris Yozebek.
Making his requested ascent into Game Show Stadium, the man called for a movie showdown. Your Iron Player of movies, Chris Z. Chris Z, whose real name is Chris Yozebek from New Jersey, is a former stockbroker turned online radio host. Chris Z hosts his own blog talk radio show, Rock That Game, with his co-host Matthew Rojas. But tonight, Chris Z must show his knowledge of movies. How will this turn out?
Chris.
Well, that's an intro, isn't it?
That is quite an intro. So, how you doing?
I was hoping I'd have the night off. All right.
I guess I can understand. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here's how it's going to work. I will ask alternating lists, and basically, works like the chamber. You have to get an incorrect answer, and if your opponent gets the right answer after the wrong answer, they will score a point. But if they complete the list, they will score the point. The first person to score 3 points becomes the Iron Player. Alan, Chris, are you set to do battle?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, so in those words, I say unto you in the words of our chairman, Ole Joe. And Alan, we will start with you. Alan, I want you to start naming Alan and Chris. We'll start with you, though, Alan. Alan and Chris, I want you to name the voice actors of Kung Fu Panda. Alan?
Jack Black.
Jack Black. Is that correct? That's one. Chris?
Dustin Hoffman.
That is correct. Alan?
Oh, can't forget her, Angelina Jolie.
That's 3. Chris?
I don't know. I never watched the movie. That's all I know is Dustin Hoffman.
Out of time. Alan, for a point.
How can you not forget the funny character known as Mantis, played by Seth Rogen?
That is right. So, Alan, that earns you 1 point against Chris. So, I'll tell you the rest of the cast, just to let you know. Jackie Chan, he was Monkey. Ian McShane, he was Tai Lung. Lucy Liu, she was the Snake. What was her name? But what am I saying?
Viper.
David Cross. Thank you. David Cross, Randall Duck Kim, James Hung, Dan Fogler, and Michael Clark Duncan. What I can say is that Michael Clark Duncan was the guard of that prison. That's what he was. Okay, so Alan
No,
has
he was
1
the
point.
prisoner. He was the prisoner
was
that
the
was
prisoner.
executed.
No, Tai Lung was the prisoner. Michael Clark Duncan was the head of the prison, as I remember.
No, that was Tom
Right.
Hanks in The Green Mile. Michael
I was
Clark
talking about
Duncan was
Kung Fu
the
Panda.
victim who was electrocuted at the end.
I got you. Well, let's move ahead since we have what? Oh, we have 8 minutes left. We have to get on the move here. Here we go. And Chris, we'll start with you. I want you to name the cast of Twister. I want you to name the cast of Twister.
Bill Paxton.
That's a correct answer. Alan.
Well, let's get rid of the easy ones. Helen Hunt.
That's 2.
Philip
Chris.
Seymour Hoffman.
He was that funny guy. Oh, what was his name again? Oh, what the heck. Alan?
Jamie Gertz was in it.
She was. Chris?
Downey, right? Was her name? Played the old lady. Downey, I think her name was. Last name.
That's not acceptable. For a point, Alan.
Well, the third Doctor in the group was played by Carrie Ells.
Huh. I didn't know that.
That's acceptable. That's acceptable. It was Carrie Elways. Carrie Elways was who I was looking for. Okay. Dusty, that was his name. Philip Seymour Hoffman was Dusty. The rest of the cast includes Alan Ruck, Jeremy Davies, Joey Slotnick, Sean Whalen, Todd Field, Wendell Josepher, Scott Thompson, Lewis Smith. Lewis Smith was the elderly lady that you were looking for there, Chris. I think that's what threw you off. Jack Greener, and surprisingly, Alexa Vega, who was featured in Spy Kids, was actually in this movie when she was 5. So she was the girl who played the young girl who witnesses getting her father killed by that F5 tornado. Do you remember that?
Which one of us?
That was over 14 years ago.
Indeed it was. Okay, so that now puts Alan at 2 points. And unfortunately, Chris, if you're going to get in the game, now is the time to do so. Now is the time to do so. Alan, we alternate, and we start with you. Here's the next one. Name the cast of Men in Black. Alan,
And who starts?
you do.
Okay, well, let's go with the obvious. Tommy Lee Jones.
Thank you.
All right.
Chris?
Will Smith.
Will Smith is right. That's 2. Alan?
Linda Florentino.
Linda Florentino? Yeah, that's right. That's right as well. Chris?
Rip Torn.
Rip Torn. Is he on that list? Yes, he is. We're getting good. Alan?
John Grease.
John Grease? Is that what you said?
John Grease.
Found that one. Chris?
Oh, there's more characters. I don't know. Can't think of any.
Oh boy, you're out of time. Moment of truth. Alan, become the Iron Player. Name one more cast member of Men in Black.
Siobhan Fallon? I don't know if she was in it or not. Siobhan Fallon.
Siobhan Fallon. Siobhan Fallon. Are you talking about... Wait a minute. Siobhan... Did you say Siobhan Fallon or Siobhan Fallon?
Fallon.
There you go. Oh, I just thought of one right now.
All I can say,
Tony
Alan,
Shalhoub was in it.
you are the new Iron Player of Movies! When? Wow. That's what we call a shutout. That's what we call a shutout. 3-0. I'm really sorry. I really couldn't hear you over that last name and everything. It did kind of sound like Fallon or something like that. So, but you got it. You are the new Iron Player of Movies.
There you go, Alan. Congratulations.
Thanks.
That was quite a match. I'll tell you that for a fact.